The guiding light. A teacher's legacy. Once upon a time, in a small, unassuming town named Cedarville, nestled among rolling hills and whispering pines, a remarkable journey began. In the heart of this tranquil town, there stood a modest brick school building, Cedarville Elementary School. It was here that an extraordinary teacher, Mrs. Eleanor Thompson, ignited the flames of inspiration and motivation in the lives of her students. Her impact on their lives was nothing short of miraculous, transforming struggling students into confident, capable individuals who would go on to achieve great things. Eleanor Thompson, or Mrs. Thompson as her students affectionately called her, was an unassuming woman. Her graying hair, kind eyes, and warm smile concealed the strength of character that lay within. She had been teaching at Cedarville Elementary for over 3 decades, and she had seen it all. Through her journey as a teacher, she had witnessed numerous challenges and struggles, both within her students' lives and her own. Yet, she had also witnessed the incredible power of education and the indomitable human spirit. Eleanor's story began as the daughter of a hard-working mechanic and a schoolteacher mother. Her parents had instilled in her the values of perseverance, compassion, and the importance of education. Growing up in a modest household, she had witnessed the impact her mother had on her students' lives and had been deeply inspired by the transformative power of teaching. It was her mother's words, "Teaching is not just a profession, it's a calling," that resonated in Eleanor's heart and ultimately led her to become an educator. As Eleanor walked into her classroom on the first day of each school year, she saw a new group of young faces, brimming with potential yet often burdened with life's challenges. Cedarville, like many small towns, had its share of economic hardships, broken families, and limited opportunities. It was in this backdrop that Mrs. Thompson's work truly shone. She saw her role not just as a teacher but as a guiding light, offering hope, wisdom, and a path to a brighter future. Eleanor's students came from diverse backgrounds and faced a wide range of difficulties. Some struggled with learning disabilities, others with poverty, and a few with family issues that weighed heavily on their young shoulders. In her classroom, all these differences faded into the background, and Mrs. Thompson instilled in her students a sense of equality, respect, and the belief that they could overcome any obstacle. She often said, "In this classroom, we are a family, and family helps one another." Among her students was young Sarah Patterson, a bright but timid girl who had recently lost her mother to a tragic accident. Sarah was struggling to cope with her grief, and her grades were slipping. Eleanor recognized Sarah's potential and was determined to help her overcome the darkness that had consumed her. She spent countless hours working with Sarah, offering not just academic support but a shoulder to lean on and a listening ear. Slowly, Sarah began to heal, finding solace in the kindness and care of her teacher. Eleanor's impact extended beyond the classroom. She encouraged her students to participate in extracurricular activities and volunteer work, instilling in them a sense of responsibility and empathy. One of her students, Mark Williams, who had been a troublemaker before joining her class, transformed into a compassionate and responsible young man. He began volunteering at a local animal shelter and discovered his love for animals. Years later, he would become a renowned veterinarian, attributing his success to the guidance and inspiration he had received from Mrs. Thompson. Eleanor's influence wasn't limited to academics either. She often invited guest speakers to her class, who shared their personal stories of triumph over adversity. These stories resonated deeply with her students, teaching them that life's challenges were not insurmountable obstacles but stepping stones to greatness. She often repeated the quote by Maya Angelou, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." One of the most unforgettable guest speakers was Michael Collins, a former astronaut who had walked on the moon. His visit to Cedarville Elementary left an indelible mark on the students, igniting their dreams of reaching for the stars. Little did they know that his words would influence one of their own, Tommy Mitchell, a quiet and reserved boy with an insatiable curiosity about the cosmos. Inspired by Michael Collins, Tommy pursued a career in astrophysics and would later become a prominent figure in the field of space exploration. The years rolled on, and Mrs. Thompson continued to shape the lives of her students. Each class that passed through her care became a close, knit family, supporting each other through trials and celebrating each other's triumphs. The impact of her teaching extended far beyond Cedarville, as her students went on to college, careers, and lives of purpose. One of her most challenging students was a young boy named Daniel Ramirez, who came from a troubled home and had a history of delinquent behavior. Mrs. Thompson saw the potential hidden beneath his tough exterior and decided to mentor him. She worked tirelessly to break through the barriers that had built up around him, and slowly but surely, Daniel began to change. With her guidance, he found an outlet for his anger and frustration through art, and he would go on to become a successful artist, painting vivid landscapes that captured the beauty of nature. One fateful day, the news of Mrs. Thompson's retirement came as a shock to the entire town. The community had come to depend on her wisdom and care, and her students felt a profound sense of loss. She had been the guiding light in their lives, and the prospect of facing the world without her was daunting. As Mrs. Thompson's retirement approached, her students decided to organize a grand farewell celebration to express their gratitude and admiration. It was a true testament to the impact she had on their lives. Former students, now successful professionals, flew in from different parts of the country to join the festivities. The event, held in the school's auditorium, was filled with touching speeches, heartfelt letters, and a surprise performance by Mark Williams, who had become a renowned singer, songwriter in addition to his veterinary career. During the ceremony, Sarah Patterson, who had overcome her grief and was now a successful therapist, stood before the crowd to speak about the profound influence Mrs. Thompson had on her life. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Mrs. Thompson taught me that even in the darkest of times, there is a light that can guide us. She showed me the power of resilience, kindness, and the unwavering belief that we can overcome anything life throws at us." Tommy Mitchell, the astrophysicist, spoke of how Mrs. Thompson had nurtured his passion for the stars and had given him the confidence to reach for the cosmos. He ended his speech with a quote from Carl Sagan, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." Even Daniel Ramirez, the troubled young boy turned artist, presented Mrs. Thompson with a portrait he had painted. In it, she was depicted as a beacon of light, illuminating the path for her students. The painting captured the essence of her impact on their lives, and it moved everyone in the audience. As the ceremony came to an end, Mrs. Thompson took the stage, her eyes filled with tears of joy and gratitude. She said, "Teaching has been my life's greatest privilege. Each one of you has shown me the incredible strength and potential that resides within the human spirit. You are the embodiment of hope, resilience, and the power of education. Remember that you carry the torch now. It is your turn to be the guiding light for others, just as you have been for me." In the years that followed, the legacy of Mrs. Eleanor Thompson continued to flourish. Her former students, inspired by her teachings, went on to make a significant impact in their respective fields. Sarah Patterson helped countless individuals overcome their emotional struggles. Mark Williams used his music to raise awareness for animal rights. Tommy Mitchell made groundbreaking discoveries in the field of astrophysics, and Daniel Ramirez's art adorned galleries around the world, inspiring people with its beauty and depth. The students of Cedarville Elementary, molded by Mrs. Thompson's teachings, carried her torch forward, becoming beacons of light themselves. The little town of Cedarville witnessed a transformation as her students came back to invest in their community, creating educational programs, scholarships, and support networks for those in need. The story of Mrs. Thompson's impact on her students spread far and wide, touching the hearts of people from all walks of life. It served as a reminder of the profound influence that teachers can have on the lives of their students and the enduring legacy they leave behind. The journey of Mrs. Eleanor Thompson and her students was a testament to the power of education, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring impact of a teacher's guidance. It was a story of struggle, motivation, and inspiration, proving that even in the face of adversity, a dedicated teacher can change the course of countless lives, leaving a legacy that shines as brightly as a guiding light in the darkest of nights. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.